Awesome. Even the record button's working tonight. All right. Slow start. All right. This is the 5 steps, or they're not really steps, that really have taken my life from where I was stuck with no direction to somewhere now where I've got balance and I have purpose in life and I'm moving forward. And like I say, to start, I just want to thank you guys for getting on, and I appreciate it. It's been a bit of chopping and changing with everything with me over the last couple of days, whether I was going to have this tonight or not, and I really do appreciate your guys' time. A couple of years have been on my webinars before. Now, I'm high energy, and that's how I bring it, and I expect you guys, if you want to gain anything out of anything I'm teaching tonight or talking about, be on the edge of your seats, except for you, Nath, on the road. You just sit how you are and hold that steering wheel, bro. But serious, even if you take notes out of this, it's very important. I know a couple of you guys are already doing a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about tonight, so this will really reaffirm with you guys the stuff I've been teaching already. Now, the 5 steps. Now, I don't like to call these steps or number them or anything, but I thought just for the purpose of this, I would. Now, number one is to do with environment. Environment's massive. I've been talking about this. I done a webinar last week on environment, how important and critical it is. Now, accountability in that environment is huge. Hello to you guys on the live feed too. Sorry about that, guys. I better acknowledge you. Thank you for jumping on. Sam, you're always on there, man. Cheers. Just type in whatever if you can hear me okay on there too. Keep me accountable too, guys. It's very, very important on this with all the Wi-Fi. Might be the storms up here. I'm not sure. But like I say, accountability in a closed, protected environment. It doesn't even have to be closed or protected. Accountability in any form of life is huge. If you are in that environment now where people around you are negative or they drag you down a bit or they're not on the same level as you, just say, and they do affect you. If you're going to stay in that environment, you've got to take certain steps to protect yourself to be able to grow, move forward. Thanks, guys, on there on the live feed. Awesome. Dougie's on there. Sweet. This is cool. We've got a few people jumping on here. I better bring it, eh? But yeah, in that environment, because you've got to have people who are around you, apart from the people that bring you down, apart from the people that might be affecting you. You got to have other people around you that can actually lift you up and can actually either give you some strong advice or really just reaffirm with you're doing the right thing. Now, with the closed environment, that's huge. And I didn't know how I was going to present this tonight until just before I had a call with Lee Bunny, who's my coach and mentor with Team Beast Mode International. And this has actually been really critical in me learning about this and then being able to create my own closed environment and be able to teach it to other people. Now, I'm going to go back about 8 or so months ago where I'd already known about environment, already changed my environment several times, like my working environment, went to the west to work. Wasn't a very good environment over there, but it was a change from where I came from. Moved to Queensland a couple of years ago. Spent a bit of time up here, but then I went back to Melbourne after Christmas for 6 weeks. I was changing my environment everywhere, and as I worked on myself, when I started the personal development with Team Beast Mode and really became aware of how much environment could affect me, that I seen the power of actually having a closed environment to be separated from them people around me. They were still around me. There were certain people around me. There's people even on social media that really got to me. There was like people that were close to me that were moving away that didn't like me doing all this stuff. They didn't understand why I was doing it. But to have the closed environment with Team Beast Mode, that was huge for me because there were certain times over Christmas, after Christmas, where my energy got drained. Like I talk about energy vampires. Just write that in your book. You all know about energy vampires, I'm sure. I want to hear back from you on this energy vampires on. No names, but just really draining me. And if I didn't have people around me who lifted me up, who gave me great advice, Matty McKee's on, awesome, man, awesome. I appreciate that. Love it. But these people, and it's not always the right advice or anything, maybe, and it's not someone that says it's okay, it's okay. These people are like, no, you keep on your track. You keep doing what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. And then for me, having that around me, like even the words like You've done amazing so far since you've been here. Just keep pushing. Might sound simple, but having a group of people around there that have done that and really pushed you instead of said, it's okay, it's okay. It's a big difference between that, guys. And having that in the closed environment, like I say, with Team Beast Mode was huge for me. Massive. Because I give so much time to a lot of people. And I know a couple of years on here tonight, I would have seen this in action with me. In certain circumstances, certain places, I've been drained and I can't explain it. And it's because of the people around me. There's a lot of people out there that are very, very needy, we'll say. And it's cool you can help certain people. But with me, the way I am, I want to help people more than enough. And at a certain time, if I didn't have other people around me say, all right, just separate yourself from them. There's nothing wrong with them, what they're doing. They just need help in that. But I had to work on myself. I had to continue on my path. I had to continue pushing these new boundaries, getting outside my comfort zone, doing different stuff all the time, and know that it was okay to keep doing that. Because sometimes when people get at you, social media is massive for these guys. That's the environment. So just so you know, this is an environment. Social media can be really nasty sometimes. And I get haters all the time. I don't so much anymore because now they're starting to see that I've stuck to my guns because I truly believe in what I'm doing. But when the haters come out or people send you messages and it gets to you, to have other people there to go to that say, all right, that's okay. Don't be offended by that. They are everywhere, absolutely. And that have been through it before. These people, they get it all the time. I don't know if you guys have seen Lee Bundy's work. It's amazing. He throws out hand grenades at people to see if they bite. And his responses to people who get up that don't like it and that is pretty cool to watch. My phone's going flat, so underprepared. That's not very professional. But that's how I roll anyway. I'll keep this real. Exactly. But we call them haters too, guys. And this is another point I've got for you. In the social media environment, you can call them haters, but if they're watching you, if you've got their attention, they're your fans. Now, that's not being sarcastic. They want to see how you go. They either want to see if you're going to keep growing or they want to see if you fall. At first, they want to see if you fall. If you're doing stuff out there that's new and different, and I know all of you guys on here now are, and it's awesome what you're doing, like absolutely awesome what you're doing. But sometimes you can get people around you that don't understand it for a start, and they might throw a bit of hate at you. They might throw these questions at you that are like, oh, what do you think you're doing? What are you saying? What are you talking about? And like I say, I learned this straight away. It was awesome. I actually love it now. I just want these guys to come at me. But now that I've been doing this for a long time, and you'll find as you guys go further into it, the more you are solid with if it's a message you want to deliver, or if it's just your life you're putting out there and how you're either helping others or you're just improving yourself. The more belief you have in yourself, these comments, these people will either go away or they just don't know what they're talking about. So that's what you've got to think. That's exactly what you've got to think. They're like, all right, they don't know me. They don't know what I'm doing. But that's social media, guys. If you're in a town, family are huge. But if you're truthful and honest, they'll understand eventually. I say this all the time. It's they will come around as such. They will understand. But away from that, you're always going to get these situations where you don't know where to turn. And having an environment, or I'm not even going to use that word anymore, a group of people around you, or people that have got your best interests at heart, who are not connected to you like your family, like your friends you've grown up with. They're like, what would you say, observers to your situation or whatever. They might be friends in that too. But that's very powerful for you to go to someone like that. Instead of going to your old ways, especially if you're growing yourself and you're learning new ways, you're getting outside your comfort zone. If you've got people like that you can go to that have got your best interests at heart, that's when you can make a step up. That's where it'll make a difference to what you are doing or where you are going. So when you get challenges, when you get hard times, you've always got to have that in mind. You've got to have them people around you. And usually it's people that have been through what you've been through before. I go back to it. Lee Bundy is a great example for me. He's like come from such a similar past as mine. So similar. Some of the stuff we talk about, it's like we're at the same party. We're in other rooms. Some of the people we know. And for me, to be able to connect with that, and that gives me so much confidence and trust in the path he's gone through. Like he's been through it before. And I don't know if you guys around you, I know a few of you have on here, and I'm friends with a few of you guys. They've got people like that. they're the people you turn to that have actually been through it and you see are doing really well. That's the people. It's a really simple way to do it. Sometimes we overcomplicate these things. Sometimes we look for people we don't know. It's handy if someone, like, you do know someone you don't know, but you follow them up. That's awesome, especially when I talk about successful people and all that. But this is just closed. This is where we're at now. It's like if you're just starting personal growth or you're changing your lifestyle, it's easy. It's an easy step. And he's created that environment for me, and which, as you can probably see, I've just absolutely grown as a person because of that, because I've trusted in this process with these people around me. And now I'm at the stage where I'm going to skip through to step 5 here. So this is like, so they're not steps, the leadership part. By being around someone that's been there before, that is a true leader of men. He's a leader of people. That's what he is. And he doesn't want the followers. He wants to be able to create other leaders. And that's what he's been able to do with me moving forward. And that's how I see myself now. And that is the power of having these people that have done this before. Keep me accountable here, guys. The live feed's going really, really well. I tell you what, I'm going to have to grab might have to grab a lead to charge my phone. Bear with me for a sec, guys. I've got one I prepared earlier. Just type in the box down there if you can hear me and everything all right. Like I say, my internet on my computer keeps flashing up, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going. Bear with me. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. He's loving this. He's getting something out of this. Always love adding a bit of value. What's that, Dave? Most important thing. Most important thing. Which part? Elaborate, bro. Are you talking about the phone charger? Nah, awesome, guys. I appreciate the feedback here. Yes, it is important. It is. But if you see my world, Dave, I'm on it a lot. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to go back to it because I did call this the 5 steps and how I actually came through this. I was into the accountability program with Team Beast Mode, and it's where I've learned so much now. Yes, with my life experience and everything and what I've got through, my people skills, which are really, really good, I just forgot how to use them. But in the accountability, doing certain things, like we are set tasks, and I know a few of you guys are doing my stuff, you've got them set tasks. Now, they're there for a reason. You don't have to understand them at first. This is where I come back to the trust thing. You've got to trust the process. If you're into something that's different, and you've got the people around you that are pushing you up or guiding you, you've got to trust what they say. You've got to trust their process. If they've taken them steps, if they've done this, you've got to trust them because it's worked for them. And a big thing with me, I did that. I had challenging times, guys, and I'm not one to shine over this. When I was in the mines, my days, I'm going to tell you my days, and this is important. I talk to a lot of people who say they've got no time or they're tired. I might come across as really high energy in a machine, which there's reasons behind that. I do certain things to keep my energy up. But there was 6 weeks in a row, and I've been talking to a few of you guys in beast mode about this because as soon as I hear no time, I'm like, haha, I love this topic. I was getting up at 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, I'd go for my walk. Right, 2:30. Unless the moon was out, I couldn't see shit. I just knew the road I had to go on. 2:30, I'd go out, I'd do my affirmations, I'd have my positive self-talk. I'd go for my walk. I'd get pumped up at 2:30 in the morning. That'd last for about, I'd change it up, hour and a half, and I'd go back and write in my book. Like all the ways I want to add value to my day every day. Connect with my goals. And at the time, goals for me was like, what? What are you talking about? I found that really tough, like really tough. But you know what I did every day? I just kept doing it. I kept applying myself. So after that in the morning, my walk and writing my book, even though a lot of it didn't make sense, I'd go to the gym. I'd be out of the gym at 4:45. I'd have a shake for breakfast because I had no time. I had to be at work at 5 o'clock. And in the mining game, even if you're on work sites and that, you know, when you get to work, there's all people that's like, nah. But I was in such a good zone from doing this, even though I'd been up at 2:30. I'd get to work, I'd work right through till about 6:30, go back to camp, and I'd be up till 11 o'clock every night. I'd be filling out my questionnaire, a lot of questions that were really hardcore for me. I struggle with all that stuff. I struggle with a lot of other stuff I had to do after hours. Like, and at times I got really, really frustrated. Like, really frustrated. I'm like, why am I doing this? Questioning everything. And I always come back to it, no matter what, no matter how tired I got. I was learning all this new stuff, and I was getting little bits out of it every day. I'm like, I've got to trust this process. And I kept saying that to myself. I've got to trust what someone has done before me, what someone has created that has worked for so many other people on different levels. I've got to trust it. So I did that. So for 6 weeks, I reckon I averaged 4 hours sleep a night maximum. And I was smashing my days. I was so energetic. Yeah, I might have had panda eyes and all that sort of stuff, but I was always going to the gym. I always had energy, and I could always see improvement. So when you want to go from one place to another and you put your trust in someone's processes set up, or like I say, their group, or if they're just where you want to be, trust the advice they give. Trust them steps they put in place. You can ask questions, yes, and I can guarantee from my experience, I'm still learning stuff now about the process that I've been going through. And I mean, yes, I've come a long way. Yes, I've learned a lot. Yes, I am like flying now. But there's still things I don't know. And because what I did, I realized very fast, trust the process, ask questions, yes, but you ask smart questions, because when you're in a growing environment, you'll pick up stuff anyway. As long as you don't try to work it out and get caught up in your head, as long as you just don't look for quick fixes and you really work on like looking for the answer yourself, you'll learn so much more and move forward. And that's a powerful part of this. It's so, when I say powerful, in building that self-confidence, that self-belief, which are a couple of steps I've outlined here. Now, they are huge. So for me, communicating with people, talking to people, approaching people. Like, I'd gone into the network marketing game where I had to approach people on the street that I didn't know. Holy crap. That scared the crap out of me. But by trusting the process, building my self-belief with these people around me who lifted me up, like so many compliments I used to get. And I, at the time, because I had low self-worth, I didn't believe I deserved them. And that's something I want to touch on too. Like, it doesn't really go astray from where I'm talking about everything, but it's really, really important. When you've got low self-worth, and a lot of us have, don't get me wrong, and there's nothing to shy away from, guys. This is the thing. A lot of people cover over this stuff, having the low self-worth or not much belief in yourself, and it can come and go too. With me, when I had people around me that were, like I spoke about before, onlookers or separated from me from my past, or separated from my family or circle of friends I had then, when they start complimenting you and they are truthful, that automatically builds your self-belief. So I don't know about you guys. If you guys got people around you, I'm just going to get you involved here. You got people around you now that like you haven't really grown up with, or they're separate from you, but they've been through it or whatever, and they compliment you and they really lift you up. I want to know how that feels, just from you guys, so I can have a drink too. Newey's on. Awesome, bro. I'll just wait a sec for it to come through. Yeah, that's right, Chaitanya. It does. It feels awesome. And it's just that feeling. I've spoken about it before. It can be the simplest compliment from someone around you who you picture as being above you that can just raise your self-belief in yourself and your self-worth. Everything comes back to self-worth. If you're having trouble talking to people or looking at people in the eyes, it's because your self-worth's low. You might not believe in what you're saying. You might not fully believe in yourself. If you've got to get out there and you've got to approach people and meet new people, if you've got to make video calls or something like that, or even post videos in that, and you're struggling with that, it's because maybe your self-worth is a little low. And to have them people around you that lift you up all the time, that may inspire you, but then they bring you up to their level, It is, Matty. Exactly. The smallest compliment can be huge for your self-belief. And it's so simple. And it's the thing we look over so much. There's so much negativity and stuff in so many of these people around us that brings us down just as quick. And we start overlooking the compliments that people might pay us from where we're not expecting it. So by having that new circle or them other people that have been through what you've been through, wow, long one's here. I better get to this. I'm loving the interaction here, guys, too. I've mixed it up a lot tonight because I want you to get a hell of a lot of value out of this. Absolutely, Newey. That's spot on. Yeah, that's it, Dougie. But to have them people around you constantly, that's what's awesome about it. Just got a question in here. Deal with people chatter around you. I'm going to get to this, Carly. I'll answer this now for you, Carly, because I reckon there's a few of you can get a lot out of this. How can you deal with people that chatter around you or put their beliefs on you about what you should or shouldn't be doing? I knew this one was coming. Thank you. I'll go back to it at the start, and this might seem really simple. If other people are around you with their beliefs, they're wanting to put their beliefs on you, and it's not your belief, guess what? Stick with your belief. It's as simple as that. It might seem really hard, especially if they're constantly at you, but as soon as you let that affect you, as soon as that makes you second guess, you're either got to get stronger in your belief or really look at your values, or you've got to just disconnect from them. And you've got to think, well, they've obviously got a problem. They've obviously got something that they're not happy about, and they're pushing it onto you. I don't know if that answers your question, Carly, but that's me simplifying it. Exactly, Matty. Yes, Dougie, we are. But that's what it's about. It's about lifting each other up. But I don't know if that answered your question there, Carly, but you've got to simplify these things, because as soon as you buy into this chatter or this gossip or people saying stuff to you that you do not believe in, why buy into it? Why buy into it? That's why building self-belief is huge. By having tools to do that, having people around you can help you build your belief. And the best way to build belief, like I say, you got to know your values. And the values might be if you're in your family, your family is your number one value. But if you want to look after them, you might have money as a value. Your value might be helping people around you. There's so many core values you can have. If you believe in them and you're moving forward doing the right thing, nothing should sway you. But to build belief, to build self-confidence, here's the key. This is the key. You're in that environment where people lift you up. You've got to do things differently than what you've always done, because you've got low self-worth or you've got small amount of confidence for certain reasons. There's stuff you might be holding back on. There might have been instances in your past where people might have put you down. People around you might have dragged you back when you were growing, when you were pushing them boundaries. So you've got to get outside your comfort zone. You've got to continually do things a bit different. And for me, I'll go back to Team Beast Mode to do videos talking about my past, talking about what I was learning. Holy shit. I don't know if any of you guys, and I know you will say this, there's a lot of uncomfortable times in there, because when you're not confident in yourself, when you haven't got belief in yourself, when you're not sure about what people think around you, and you put something out to the social media world, you got to disconnect. But when you put stuff out there and you're not sure of yourself, you are seriously affected by comments. You are seriously affected by that, because you've got low self-worth. And I'll touch on it again. This is not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. You've just got to take steps to work on it, and that's what this is. Get outside your comfort zone. Trust the people around you that are lifting you up, that are paying you compliments. And if they've got a process to go through, you've got to trust in that. I've lived it. And I keep living it every day. I've had my struggles, guys. I've had my times where I started second guessing, but the last one that's always on my mind, so actually the first one, is trust the process. Trust the people that have been through it. Trust the people that have come from them bad times, or their times when they've had no direction and they're stuck, and they've got there. If it's worked for them, it'll work for you. And I literally live by this every day, guys. I constantly get outside my comfort zone. I constantly look for new ways to improve on things. And my self-belief, my confidence right now is just ridiculous because of this, because I've followed these 5 steps or these 5 things. I'm going to run through them again, and I hope you've written them down because, like I say, you can go through this anyway. Your environment, the people around you, if they're not serving you, if they're dragging you down, it doesn't mean you have to separate from them. That would be awesome. That's what I did. That'd be the super quick way to just make everything a lot better. There's more to it, but that's a big one. But separate from them. Find people that have been through what you've been through or similar, or they're going through. They're just a bit in front of you. You've got to find them people, and you will find them. Trust me, they show up. If you put it out there, if you put that energy out there that you want to grow and you want to make change, these people will show up. It's happened in my world day after day after day. But environment, what you do in that environment's critical too. That's why you trust the process. You trust these people. Accountability to them, to their process. If they've got a process in place, if they've got a group like we have in Beast Mode, be accountable every day. It takes daily, consistent action to create a new habit. So if you've got a habit that you're always letting people affect you, that's a habit. That's something that you've got to work on. Exactly, Julie. We do have a past, and everything from our past, no matter what we've been through, is a lesson. And we've always got to be excited about the future. I just thought I'd throw that in. But I'll move to the next one. And I'm going to throw out of comfort zone as number 2. I've put them up in numbers, but out of comfort zone stuff is massive. You want to build self-belief, constantly do things different, constantly push yourself to be uncomfortable. Because as you do that, the more you do it and the more you realize that you're growing as a person, that people around you are going to compliment you instead of put you down. And you start getting little results by doing things a little bit different. Like I say, you might be getting a bit more attention. You might be getting a few more smiles, a few more positive comments if it's on social media. It builds your belief a little bit. So you constantly do that. And the more belief you do, you start doing new things. If it's set tasks you got to do, or like I say, if there's a process you go through in the group, you follow that. You follow that. The more you do it, the more you get these people around you that lift you up. Your self-belief builds, but also your self-worth builds. I'll get to that in a minute, Brett. Some examples of it. Absolutely. Examples of out of comfort zone. Cool. I might talk for a while on that one. But you've got to continually do that. And for me, and I love using me as the example, I'm teaching this, I'm talking this, but I've been living it. The leadership thing. I always thought I was a leader. Get that thought. That I held a role of significance in my job. That's not a leader. That was a leader that was like authority, speak down. That was no good. I had to develop this skill and turn it around. By working on myself, by building my self-belief, by constantly doing things that were so different to me that I was used to, getting outside my comfort zone, having the people around me lift me up, I grew into this leader I am now. And the belief I get every day from doing these things, by lifting other people up, by being that leader, to create them, to want them to be leaders. That's huge. For me to step into that role now, to grow into that role, and it's not like up here, I'm here, look down on you. Lead, create other people around you. If you've got people around you who want to follow your path, work with them, show them the steps you've gone through. And that's what I'm teaching you tonight, guys. This is what I've gone through. This is where I am now, is because of all this. And then what happens there? The people I've followed their path, I've raised my self-worth. Yes, they're my coaches. Yes, they're people that have been there before. I don't look up to them. I look across to them now. It's still separate. I've got massive respect for them, but I've come from here to there by doing this process, by following these steps. And now I've got so much self-worth that I can talk to them on my level. I used to be scared of them. I think I've touched on this story before. When I first met Lee at an event last year, like, I knew Lee, I knew his past. Like I say, we had the same people we grew up around. And I went up to him like this. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. A mate of mine, Cross, introduced me, and I'm like, how are you, Lee? You just got off stage. Shit scared. Now I can go see Lee. I don't know if you've seen us. We've done some videos. We've done some live training and that. It's like we have a stuff around. I've got the respect there, but that's just an example of me raising my self-worth to feel comfortable in my own skin about not being judged, about not worrying about what people around me thought. Back to it. Examples of getting out of my comfort zone for you, Brett. All right. What can I start? Oh, there's been so many. Throw some questions at me with this. All right, put it in there. Brett, you first. What do you feel uncomfortable with? A few of you can type in a couple of things here if you want to, guys. Like I say, I'm going to make this a bit different than normal, very interactive. Couple of things you guys are uncomfortable with, but you know that you may have to do them. Nothing? Damn, now I have to talk about mine. I love talking about all the things I've done to get outside my comfort zone. Exercise. All right, they're coming through. Yes, Maddie, I know yours. Absolutely. Videos. But Brett, all right, exercise. I don't know if they're on tonight. A couple of my friends, this is a story and this is true. It's not anything, but with exercise, there's a few things that could be involved. Self-worth is huge. Body image is huge. Guess what my number one value or my internal Nui. I'm not even going to get to that. I might. But my internal motivator for my health is my image, my body image. And it might sound strange, I know, but that's huge when it comes to exercise, doing things different. If you're not going to the gym or you don't want to go to the gym, and it's cool to admit this, guys, is a lot of people who are unhealthy, and I'm not saying I haven't spoken to you, Brett, but this is just a story. A lot of people that aren't where they want to be with their fitness or their health, it's a lot to do with body image. I did a couple of things with a friend a while ago. She didn't want to go to the gym, but she wanted to get some better results. I had to work out why she didn't want to go to a gym. She said, oh, people look at her, all that sort of stuff. That was fair enough. I understood that. So I said I'll go to the gym with her to help her through that. But I still knew there was more to it, and I worked it out pretty quick. Now, I go back to it, and people aren't happy with their image. They're worried about what people think around them. I hope this is along the right lines, Brett. Just throw something in there if it's not. But I took her to the gym, and I watched her work out, and she was not really worried about other people. She couldn't look at herself train in the mirror. And I picked up on that straight away, and that was huge, massive. It was way outside her comfort zone because she was not happy with where she was. She had the low self-worth around her body image, about how she felt about it. So guess what I did to get her out of the comfort zone? Yes, I gave her some exercises to do and all that. Exactly, Dougie, yeah. I'm loving the feedback here, but I made her there. I can't even remember what exercises I gave her to do, but I wanted her to stare in the mirror the whole time. Just to look at herself in the mirror the whole time and get comfortable looking at herself where she is right now. And the things I was saying to her, I knew it was way out of her comfort zone, but that's how you break through these barriers. You've got to do shit you're uncomfortable with. And for her, I took her to two gym sessions. That was my point. Watch the mirror. And there was one time we were in there for an hour and a half training. She did not know because she was just concentrating on looking in the mirror, and that's what I was pushing her with. So I don't know if that answered your question there, Brett, but that's just one example of someone I've been around and helped her push outside her comfort zone in regards to exercise. So if you've got any more on that, man, I can elaborate definitely for your certain situation, or we can get on a call after, whatever suits you, man. Exercise is my big thing about getting people out of their comfort zone, because believe it or not, I used to be like, I was never into fitness, but I had this thing about like people like that were bigger and all that. So I was just jealous. I never made out, but I didn't go to gyms and that. And I was really, if I go to a gym, it'd be very late at night when I got into it. Yeah, cool. But like I say, Brett, any more questions, man, from in there? It's I'm here to help you guys with your questions on this one. But for me, going to the gym, I'm all fit and healthy now, and like health and fitness was probably a big thing for me, like breaking away from my past and everything. But when I first started going to the gym, I'd go train at 9 o'clock at night. If there was people in there, I wouldn't do the exercises I wanted to do. I'd go in a corner away from them because I was so not happy with myself. Motivation. Watch my shit, Brett. Motivation to go to the gym, I reckon you're touching on there. I tell you what, on motivation, and this was my motivation to get better at this and get outside my comfort zone. It ties in with the story I'm telling. I had to keep pushing myself, but because I realized I didn't have the body image I want. I didn't feel good. I was at a place where I was so freaking low with my self-worth that I had to do something. I was motivated in pain. And it's a major problem with the world. So many people are motivated in pain. So part of my mission is to stop people being motivated in pain. Look at that point. Get to a point where they're not down so low that they have to do something about it. And Dougie has just hit the nail on the head. Accountability. Accountability to someone else. Don't get to that point where you're so low that you get motivated. If you need motivation, don't wait till you're so unhealthy, or you get that call from the doctor or something, or you get that medical bill, or you've got to have something in your health and you get motivated. Don't do that. Don't get to the point where you've got so little energy where you're like, what do I do about it? Then you have to go do it. And it's so much harder to get from a place of where you're in pain to do it. I've been motivated in pain over and over. Exercise was a huge one for me. Fitness was a massive one for me. I don't know if I've even told this part where late in my 20s, I was so sick, but I hid away from it. I couldn't even eat a bit of fruit or a bit of vegetable without keeling over and getting stomach cramps and that. Like I had tubes and stuff thrown down my neck. And I think that's the first time I've told many people. And I shit myself in the hospital. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I couldn't even eat healthy. I was so motivated after that to do something about it. But I didn't have the accountability around me. I'd push for a bit, I'd be good for a bit, I'd start to eat healthier. But because I didn't have people around me, one, I didn't really let on about it and tell about it. That was a massive mistake of mine, but I didn't have the support around me that I needed at the time. I talked to certain people and they'd be like, you're all right, let's go to the pub and have a drink, it'll be right. And guess what I did? After a while, exactly. Awesome there. Brett, have a look at Newey's comment. That's gold. Awesome, awesome. I haven't got abs like a cheese grater. I could show you, actually. Nah. Thanks, Newey, man. This is why the interaction, guys, and I'm loving it. This is awesome. This is really good. This could go for a little bit longer. But I hope that give you another example there, Brett, of around exercise or around motivation to exercise. Please don't be motivated in pain. And this goes to all you guys with any situation in life. And it hurts me to see it so much in the world because I went through it so many times. I've got a couple of questions through on the webinar here now. Awesome, awesome. So keep me accountable here, guys. I have lots of stories around this one, but depends how long you want to hang around. We're going good here? We're going good? Loving the interaction. All right. Shatanya, I'll get to yours right now because it's all the same thing, self-worth. You want to approach people, no matter what company you're with, be it Isagenix like you've mentioned there. If you've got to approach people and that's part of what you have to do for your job, if you're in sales, even if you're like a telemarketer, anything, you're in a shop where people have got to talk to you, you've got to have an interaction. If you feel uncomfortable talking to them, there's something you've got to work on yourself. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. You've just got to be aware of it. And then, like I say, have people around you can go to. And if it's people that you always go to and they're not helping you with that, you've got to look for them people. So approaching people, talking to people about if you've got an offer or something, you've got to have that self-belief. You've got to have a belief if it's a product. If you haven't got that belief, then you're always going to struggle talking to someone. But if it's a belief in you delivering that message, then you've just got to work on yourself. And I know you are doing that, and you're doing an amazing job. I'm not even going to look at the live feed for a minute. Newey's taken over the live feed. That's Newey's live feed. I'm going to concentrate on the webinar. It's always good to have a bit of fun, guys. It's always good. I hope that answered your question there. It's all about self-worth, self-belief. And everything I've got with you guys that are in here, there's a couple of us on here tonight, in my accountability program, is all about building your self-worth. It's all about building that self-belief. It's all about getting out of that comfort zone. I've been nice to you so far, but that stuff's coming because it's what's worked for me. I go back to my story of how I started this, how I got involved in Team Beast Mode. And I got out of my comfort zone. That's what I'm bringing to you guys with my own spin on it. Because I learned a lot along the way about different things as well. Nath, your question. Making a career change. Wow, I've done this. I have done this. And it's always changing, man. And, all right. For you personally, man, I want to make this as broad as possible because this could apply to any of you guys. Is a career change. If you know what you want out of life, if you've got a purpose, if you're gaining clarity on a purpose or a direction you want to take that feels right in here, that's what you've got to follow, man. And it's not, sometimes it can happen like that. You can go, all right, bang, bang, bang. And we spoke about this, Nate. Finding what your life purpose is, developing that, then looking around, working around what aligns with your values in regards to that. What is out there that you love doing? Find a niche in that. For me, it's doing this now. I took a massive, massive sideways step from the mines. I was on a good wicket. I had an opportunity to go to another job. Even though the company I was with was slowly closing down, I had an opportunity to go to something on just as good as money. And I said, no, here's this other life I'm living. Here's this other thing I see that aligned with what I wanted to do. I wasn't clear on anything. I actually took a big leap of faith. And I go back to it, trusting a process that someone has come from before and gone through. That's what I did. And career is huge because a lot of us think, so many of us have got this backwards, so many. With money or earning money. You've got to stop thinking, guys, you've got a career change. This is a huge one. But if I leave my job, what am I going to do? One, but I've got to save to leave it. I've got to save up just in case this goes wrong, just in case this problem comes up. You're always, everyone, so many people think about it that way. There's so many things we've got in life. We've got family, we've got responsibilities. Absolutely critical and important. But you should always look at the big picture. And I talk about purpose again. You've really got to work on developing your life purpose. Find out what you want to do in life and then work out how to get that. If it's inspiring people or helping people or working with people, work out how you can help them people and get an exchange. That's huge. Getting messages through on the live feed there. It's all right, I'll get to them too. But that's huge. If you can find out what that is, like I've done here now, I'm using my life experience. I'm combining that with everything I'm learning off my coach and mentor, combining my life skills, being able to help people in situations where I've been in before, be it in pain, like in dark times, and being able to show them the steps I've taken to get out of that, to move them forward, be it a career change. Like I took a sideways step. I trusted that because I knew these people around me had been through it before. I could see it could work. I just had to trust them. And what's happened from that, what I'm doing now, I didn't even know I was going to do this. I did not even know I was going to be a life coach. But because it developed as I went through, as I made these changes, I grew myself as a person. I got the self-belief. Career was there. It just kept evolving. These things, these opportunities start showing up that I never thought possible. Yes, now I do visualization, I do advanced goal setting and all that sort of stuff. But to go back even 3 months to see where I am now, I didn't even know it was going to happen, man. So a lot of the time when it comes to changing a career, you've just got to see what's out there that suits you, suits your values. And it might show up straight away. I'm going to answer that, Julie. That's critical. So I hope that answered you there a little bit, Nath. Like I say, we can have another call down the track because I know where you're going with this, man. I do. And I know you know I know. All right, Julie, did you have to reach rock bottom in your life before you took the step to change things? I don't know what rock bottom was for me, Julie. I had so many times where I was questioning myself, so many times where I'd lock away and a lot of people didn't see it, so many times where I was motivated in pain to become a better person. The thing was with me, I used to escape it all and try to forget it. It was still there. All that stuff was still there. And rock bottom, I don't know. I've got a story in a minute I might tell. It's pretty deep. I'll go into it, but I feel it's important. The more you know about me, the more you trust me, which is really important. But I used to go away and want to forget about that stuff. But guess what? It always comes up. So there's so many times in my life, like I might have went to court for something stupid I'd done. I might have got into a fight and the police were knocking on my door. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Never doing it again. That was pretty low. Embarrassed me and embarrassed my family. That happened many, many times. You guys who grew up with me in the past, that was like a constant. And I was always motivated after that. And when I went to hospital, like I touched on before, about like my stomach problems and that, I got motivated after that. But I never had either the steps or the process or the people who had been through it to go to. I never wanted to reach out to people who had done that. I was always afraid that they would judge me. But a real low time for me, and it happened about the time I went to Western Australia. Like, I was into the party scene and all that, but I used to go too far. Like I say, party drugs, I used to take too many. It's straight up. I used to love some of that life. I had some great times, but there was one time there where I just seriously lost it. I did. And when I say lost it, I was so low. I embarrassed my family. Like, I went to hospital. Had my mum and dad had to come, and it was so embarrassing for me. And I see that as rock bottom. That's what I see it. And after that, that's what got me driven when I went away to work in Western Australia. It took me away from that life. It all happened at the same time. Things in life, guys, happen for a reason. No matter how bad, I truly believe that. And at this time, everything happened at once. That happened. I got embarrassed. I embarrassed my family. I was so unhappy with myself. At the same time, I got a call to go away. And bang, bang, bang. I worked so hard. I worked away from that. I gained respect from people around me because I worked so hard. But in turn, I worked so hard that I just broke away from everything else in society and all that sort of thing. And that's what led me into Team Beast Mode. So I hope that answered your question, Julie. Wow, I'm getting so many questions here. This is awesome, guys. How am I going here? You loving this? Have a drink. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just keep typing in the box. Keep me accountable. We're rocking and rolling tonight. All right, what do we got here? Carly, once you made a career change, finding life purpose. Finding life purpose. Now, when I say people have got a process and steps and all that, and this has been a big thing with me getting a personal coach. Like, I don't know if you know it. Lee Bundy, I'm his personal client, personal coach. And that's a life coach because he has gone through the same process that he teaches. We're very similar where we've come from, where we're going, and I've trusted him in this thing. Now, in regards to developing your life purpose, how many people, actually, this is a good question. How many people on here know their life purpose? I'm going to actually wait for this one here. And don't be worried about your response because I can guarantee you that a lot of you, this is not assuming or anything, because this is everyone I talk to just about at the moment. Carly does. All right. I reckon I know where your question's going then. But everyone else, do you know your life purpose? Could be as simple as creating an amazing family. Doesn't have to be big and bold or anything like that, even though mine is, but that's just me. It could be something so simple. No, that's it to know. And it's nothing, you know what, it's nothing to shy away from, guys. With this life, how can I put this? A lot of us are brought through our childhood, schooling and everything. We get into a job. That's it, Doug. That's awesome. I might have to chat to you about that one, man. I'd like to know what that is, man. Experience is key with this one too. If you've known for a while and what you're doing with it is awesome. But we're brought up to go into certain jobs or whatever, and that's what we think we're going to do. You know, you might grow up as a kid and say, I want to do this when I'm older. And if you're lucky enough to go into that as a job, that's awesome. And if that's what you love, that might be your life purpose to do that career. But we get to a point in life where we might have done this job for a while, a couple of jobs, whatever it is we're doing. We might have even had a family and started a family and thought, this is what I have to do in life. And then we start to question that and we don't feel right. We feel there's more. This was me not long ago. It's and a massive reason why I've gone the way I have and I've developed all these things. And that's right, all the answers are on there spot on. Helping others. Like I say, I might have a call with you, Dougie. I want to know how you're helping others, man, because That's a big thing. Helping others is awesome. And that's what a lot of you guys on here already do. I know that. I see you guys are on here. I know you're doing it. And you know what? Your life purpose might be that. Just helping others. As long as you're doing it, but guys, if you want that fulfillment from having a life purpose, if you're getting fulfillment that you're already doing it, that's awesome. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And that's why life purpose doesn't have to be huge. That's why I love doing what I'm doing now, because this is a massive part of it. And there are ways you can do that. And I'll go back to it, like the steps that I've taken to do this has all come at the same time. Yes, there's other tools and strategies I use. There's other coaching things I implement into it. And it's about gaining balance too, guys, because if you don't know your life purpose, that's a big reason why you might be wandering around in circles thinking there's more to life. There's more to this. Wow, Newey, that's awesome, man. I love that. I love it. I'm going to read that out for you guys. Newey's is create structures that capture natural beauty and help save this world. That's awesome because you know what that's using? This is life purpose too. I do a little thing. I know a few of you guys have been on calls with me, coaching calls and that, where I go through your life areas. And I ask what you're good at. What are your talents? And so many people lately find it hard to talk about the talents because they want to shy away from it. But if you've got a talent, like Newey's just alluded to there, and you know you're good at it, but then you know you can work it into something that can make a massive difference. And it doesn't have to be a massive difference. It's going to be a little difference, but it's going to make a difference. Believe it or not, that could be something to do with your purpose in life. So just something to think about, guys, and I want you to go away from this webinar with that in mind. I want you to go away and really write down what you're good at. Write down, and it can be something so small. Like what I've found, what I'm doing, one thing I'm missing out, I'm not going as fishing as much, but what I'm working on at the moment, what I've been doing to get balance in life is what I am good at. I've noted down all them things. I've honed in on them areas, and I've put pieces of them into the rest of my life. I make sure I do all them sorts of things. Now, I'm really, really good at working with people. I've known that all along. I just needed the skills to be able to really refine that skill. But I love the outdoors. I love traveling. I love my fitness. I love helping people. I do. I love talking, as you can probably tell by tonight. No worries, Brett. Thanks, man. Awesome, man. Awesome. Keep following, dude. And any questions, hit me up, inbox me. Like I say, I'm happy to chat. But like I say, back to that with me. Combine all them things and find something where I want to make a difference to people's lives, and I am making a difference to people's lives. But you can combine them things you love. Get that balance. Start with that. Start with that. Don't overthink things. Don't think about money first. Think about doing the things you love. Think about your gift. What's your gift? Go away from this tonight, guys, and write these things down. What are you good at? And be honest with yourself. You can ask other people around you. If you trust the people around you, you know what? Other people around you are really good at picking up on things that you might not notice. Do that. If you can do that and really hone in, like, all right, how can I help people out of this? If that's what you want to do is help people, and I know, I reckon looking at the names on here, most of you guys are already helping a lot of people. But if you really want balance in life and direction, you've got to use what you're good at. You've got to do it and really hone in on it and see how that's going to work going forward. And that will help you find out what your purpose is in life. So I hope that helps you guys with that. We've been rocking this for nearly an hour, and I am absolutely loving all the feedback, the interaction. Oh, I'm going to have to wrap it up, I reckon. This is a huge lead-in for me this week. This sort of stuff, I'm just going to give you a lot of this stuff this week. Like, I love the fact that you get the accountability and all that. I love the fact that you want to interact in these things. You're asking amazing questions, and I'm definitely. What do you think? I keep rolling this sort of stuff this week. I've got a lot more I can talk on about this, a few more stories and all that. Yeah, feedback. Awesome, awesome. How have you loved this tonight? Do you want me to keep rolling for another 10 minutes? 5 minutes? I know you've got a lot on, guys, but do you want to keep rolling with this? I'm after some deep questions here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Keep going for 5 minutes. All right. What do you want? Throw me a question. I know you said something about cars earlier, Nui, but that's not my department. And I think it was buying cars. I don't know if that's out of your comfort zone or is it just spending the money's out of your comfort zone? Awesome, Dave. I'm wrapped that you're on, mate. And you know what this is about, man. And this is a piece of it, man. And I thought, giving the example tonight of me coming through beast mode, and I'm going to be doing a bit of stuff this week just to give a lot of people clarity about what it's done for me going forward. Because in the world, there's a lot of assumptions that go on. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of questions that people answer themselves without asking the person that's doing the things questions. And for me, that's where it began. For me, that's where it started. And being able to do this stuff now was because of how I was held accountable. I was given tasks. No worries, Julie. All right, Danelle, this is a good one. Nath, winner, there you go. You can help people with cars. I'm going to get to Danelle's here. How do you support people who have hit rock bottom? All right. How do you support them? This could be very broad, this one. This can be very broad because I've put myself in this situation before. And I don't know your situation, Danelle. I don't know. So this is just a broad response. I've gone to help people before that have hit rock bottom in a big way. Now, I'm going to not go into personal stories about this because it involves other people. If they don't want to be helped, and this is the thing you've got to understand, you can see someone who's hit rock bottom. If they don't want to be helped, number one, that's going to be hard work for you. That is. But if they want help, if they want to be supported, you just give them your time. You be a listener. That's the first step. You've got to be a good listener. And that's in anything in life, guys. If you can be a good listener, yes, you might have the answers for them straight away. But sometimes they need to unload first, no matter what they're saying, no matter what they've been through. But if you have them steps that they need, and that's why they've reached out for you, then you're the person that can guide them. And you just got to realize that. You just got to be careful too. They can be energy draining, these people. They can be. And if it's family too, sometimes family can be very stubborn, even if they've hit rock bottom, even if you know it's going to help them. So I don't know if that helped, Danelle. There's so much more to it. Like I say, the accountability from people who have been through it before. If you don't believe you can help, or it's someone around you, if they can't help, the accountability of people who have been through that before, that's huge. That's massive. What do we got, Nui? So I don't know, Danelle, you got any more on that? I'd love to keep talking about that, actually. It's a big part of this, these steps that I talk about. That's a huge part of it. Doesn't matter where people have come from in life. They can always improve. You don't want to be motivated in pain, but a lot of people are in the world. It's a high percentage of people, and it's sad, but it's how it is. Nah, cool, thanks. And if you've got any more questions, Danelle, just flick me a private message in inbox, and I'll be happy to, if it's a bit more personal or something, I'll be happy to have a chat to you. What do we got? Nui, buying. I was always stressed about buying 11. I'm staying out of that. Balance. I have trouble with balance. I tend to go overboard till I almost burn out. Can you be more specific, Nui? I know you're really quick on the typer there. Go. Throw it in. So when I talk about balance, I don't know if this is going to help. When I talk about balance, and you've really got to look at every area of your life, guys. Like every area. It's like if you're not as healthy as you want to be, it's going to affect every other area. If you haven't got as much money as you want, and you look at money backwards coming from scarcity or whatever, it's going to affect every other area in your life. If you're having issues at home, it might be because of these other areas, but that will affect you. If you're not liking your job, if you're not liking work, if you're bringing them stresses home, of course it's going to affect your family. Of course, you may feel burnt out. A big thing with burnout, I was burnt out from work, man. I was exercising like a demon 7 days a week. But my burnout come from the negative energy, the negative thoughts, the stress. So if you want balance in life, work on the life areas. But if it's something like stress over something that's going on, you got to really do things a bit different. And what I did for that, if it's energy you've got in your head over thoughts, what could go wrong or what's happening, shit's going on in my life, all that, one way I worked away from that was being in Team Beast Mode. That was awesome. But I got into meditation. That was huge for me because I couldn't sit still for more than freaking 3 minutes. So, like I say, if you can be more specific, Nui, I could probably answer that. Actually, we're due for a call too, man. So, oh, guys, what do we got? Dougie, what do you got? Self-affirmation if they ask for help. Gratitude, self-praise. Absolutely. I hope that answers you too, Danelle. I tell you what, guys, this has been awesome tonight. All right, Nui's back to me. I'll keep going. Just go too many days, going too much with little sleep until it starts to impact other areas. Send me a PM, Nui. Send me a PM. Inbox me, man. I'll be happy to talk to you about this one. Absolutely. Because this has been awesome, guys. I want to send a massive gratitude and thank you for you guys for getting on. I knew I could roll with this. I don't do notes with this sort of stuff, guys, because I've lived it. This is the stuff that I've lived. Everything I put out there is what I'm living. Every post I do, every little thing I do, especially on social media, where I go out and meet people, this is what I'm living. This is what I'm learning day by day. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this with you guys. Because everything comes from the heart. I could write this down. But why do that? If you've lived something, if you put it into action every day, repetition, you create a new habit. And that's what I've been able to do. I've got so much self-belief now from doing this over and over. So much belief in the system that I've gone through, the process I've gone through, that I continue to go through too, guys. That's an important thing. This is not something like, all right, I'll do this for a couple of months. For me, it's not. This is like something that is a new habit for me. I do it every day. I do this every day, every night. I do the same things, ask the same questions, and I'm always improving on that. So if you want to be held accountable, guys, look for people around you that have been through what you've been through. Put a bit of trust in them. Get outside your comfort zone. Take action on certain things. If you've been given steps to follow, if you've been given tasks, if you've been given videos to do, which are coming soon, guys, stuff that's out of your comfort zone, and the people have been through it before and that's what they've done, do it. Do it, because I can guarantee you they will lift you up. They will push you to be a better person. You will build your self-belief by the more action you take on this. And what will happen then? You build your self-belief, your self-worth grows, you do more, you take more action, you get out there more, you keep pushing what you've created as your own limits. And if you're like me, anything like me, I was born to be a leader and I just had to remember it, and I know it now. And I know I'm leading others. So if you want that, you do all these things over and over again. I'm done tonight, guys. I want to thank you again. Like, awesome. Inbox me if you want more info or whatever. If you want to jump on a call, I'm happy to jump on a few calls this week. I'm very, very busy. But this is important to me because you know what? It goes back to that life purpose. This is part of it. So thanks, guys. I'm out. See you later. There's some awesome messages coming through here, guys. Thanks heaps. I really do love this. I really do appreciate this. Awesome. Peace out, live feed. See me enough. Wow. That's pretty cool. I just got a cool message for anyone who's left on there. Awesome.